Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Unnamed Cybersecurity Show. Today we've got vacation brain going, and we've got a couple of guys who are MIA. One gave us notice, and I think one's at Wally World. And we have
Yeah,
Bob.
I'm not
He's on
sure.
the beach. I
I'm on
wasn't
the
even talking
beach.
about. You're on the beach, but I know where you are.
Yeah, I know where I am too. So that's a good thing. The other guys, well, it is what it is. We try and keep these going, and whoever's here is here. And besides that, you know, there's a lot of stuff that happened last week. I know, Carl,
Oh yeah.
you had some stuff that came up around some big ransoms that showed up.
Oh my gosh! Well, we unfortunately, and I don't like to talk about. We get a record breaker, and normally when we talk about world records, those are good things, but in this case, it's not. Um,
Well, the
75
Olympics
million.
is going on.
The
But
Olympics
the
is
Olympics is going on.
Yes. Unfortunately, there isn't an Olympic event for cyber ransoms. Could you imagine for ransom payments? But these guys got more than the gold. They got $75 million reportedly from a Fortune 50 company. So we're waiting for the other shoe to drop on this, because if it's a Fortune 50, it's. Am I right to say that those are all public companies?
I actually started looking at that. I think they are. I think to be on that list, you have to be a public company for the Fortune 50, but I'm not 100% sure. And it's really interesting when you read that article to see, this wasn't a public announcement that a firm made a ransom payment, or that
Yeah.
a ransom group raised their hand. This was a notice that came out that one of the one of the cyber companies actually saw a Bitcoin transaction to one of the known Bitcoin accounts for the bad guys of $75 million.
Well, the only good thing is today it's worth a little less than it was yesterday, if they were getting Bitcoin. So, um, but yeah, $75 million, and at the time of the ransom, and on top of that, what if it is a public company, the reason why I was asking that question is that company has to file an 8K. It's required by law if it's a publicly traded company, in which they do disclose what has happened and the fact that they've paid a ransom. So if that is the case and it is a public company, that information is going to come out shortly. There are suspicion. There is one company that's high on the possible suspects, but that had a breach that certainly fills that bill. But I don't think that's until we hear that. I'm not going to create speculation on it. If you want to, that's. But
No,
I think it's
yeah. So we can't guess. I know the company that found it does know who it was, but they're not really releasing it yet. We can make some guesses, and my guess is it's going to be something that's healthcare related, but I don't know
I
that
would
for a
think so.
fact. Because those are the guys. That's one of the industries with super deep pockets and super sensitive data that if it gets out, but time will tell. I'm not going to start spreading rumors here based on that, but I wanted to talk a little bit more about CrowdStrike. We talked about everyone
Yeah.
Before 2 weeks ago, no one even knew who CrowdStrike was,
Yep.
and they potentially shut down, what was it, 8 million computers because of an update.
They were in critical infrastructure. Most of them were.
My brain's a little foggy right now because I am at the beach, and
I'll get you back here. I'm going to throw a beach ball with you, and it's going to say 8.5 million computers estimated.
8.5 million computers, and from what we're seeing is that whole breach, not a breach, the cyber incident, was due to someone at CrowdStrike pushing an update that wasn't properly tested. And that got me thinking and talking to other people. It's like, how many other applications are sitting in client environments that people don't realize are doing updates? It could be applications that people are paying for. It could even be applications that have been downloaded and installed and are doing these automatic updates.
Yeah,
there's so many.
You were talking about. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut.
No, go ahead.
We're working with the beach and somebody on work. So when you look at CDK that just also had a breach, that was another one where nobody was, they gave admin credentials and then they had no idea what that program was doing inside of their environments. And
exactly.
And so you've got tons of programs like that. You mentioned Clio Drive before.
Clio Drive, even things like Google Drive that people might put out there. Are they set up with automatic updates? And then, like I said, being able to really know what applications are in an environment. This is why we talk to people so much about having a real inventory and audit of the applications that are there, because if somebody had made a Google Drive update and it went everywhere, it could potentially do the same thing. Now, Google Drive doesn't necessarily have kernel level access like CrowdStrike did, but it's still going to impact the environment. Things like, I don't know, pick your cloud, your SaaS application at this point. It could be Salesforce, it could be Dropbox, it could be anything, S1. These are all applications that are sitting out there. So really, we want to make sure that people have an accurate inventory of what's there, and then a plan if something goes wrong. You mentioned that you were talking to somebody that actually experienced this.
They got hit with 200 virtual servers on AWS, where they got hit by CrowdStrike. But fortunately, he had the wherewithal. We've been talking, and he had he was on his second IR plan, annual incident response plan that he runs with his clients once a year. And for them, they had done one before about an outside attack, and this time they had done one for critical infrastructure. And so they were able to very quickly get back up and running in a very short period of time, less than 24 hours. Because as soon as they started to see this, they were able to, address it head on pretty quickly. So, that also goes back to your time, because there isn't a guarantee that you're not going to get hit. But the one thing you want to have is a plan, so when you get hit, you know how to react.
Exactly. And also know how to react and where everything is, because trying to find it when your house is on fire, that's going to be a problem, and people are going to miss stuff. So plan ahead and move on. And I think that's all I got for this week. I'm kind of like
I was just going to hit one more. I got to target one more thing before you go off to the beach.
Okay.
We were talking about the $75 million ransom. And I just wanted to bring in the point, well, why is that such a big deal with the record? Well, the last record was $40 million. That was paid by CNA. And so what that's telling, that's telling us is these guys are not going away anytime soon. And if anything, they're becoming they're becoming better funded, and they're getting a better understanding of how to extract more money in a ransom situation.
Absolutely. And I actually saw a stat this morning that said on the small business market, it was 43% of the ransom attacks happened at the small business level last year.
Yep.
So nobody's safe anymore. Come up with a plan, save your data, and protect everyone. Keep everybody safe. That's all I got for today.
I think that's good. Enjoy the beach, and we'll see you next week.
Sounds good. Okay. Be safe.
I hope some more people. We'll see if some other people show up.
I actually did a LinkedIn post this morning that actually did talk about having